Alright, so I'm doing a challenge trying to platinum every single game inside of the Ubisoft Plus game catalog on PlayStation. And if I can't do it before we hit 690,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I have to tattoo the platinum logo somewhere on my body. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Watch Dogs 2 is by far the most loved Watch Dogs game out of the series. Not sure what this is, so it doesn't have too much competition. But the game came out in 2016 and to this day has a 9 out of 10 rating, making it nearly a perfect game. And the platinum trophy for it is also one of the most enjoyable things I have done recently. So today we actually did have fun. I know, a rare moment in time. Almost as rare as when you actually get a girl. But the platinum trophy has a total of 50 trophies inside, including the platinum. It comes in at a time of 30 hours, which is preposterous. Yes. Big English word. It can be done in half of that is what I'm trying to say. So let's just jump into stage 1, which is the story as most games go. This first initial mission is just a little intro into how the hacking of the game works and some combat sprinkled on. I suck at stealth, so we did mostly combat here, but once we hacked into the Bloom CTOS farm and deleted all of the crimes we have done, because you know, we all have bad days and shouldn't be punished forever, you end up getting captured and taken by the DedSec hacker group who was watching the whole thing. And now we are going to become one of them. There is no choice. Also, you get the first trophy of the game after that. So a little bit later, you then wake up and it's daytime now, which means it's a new beginning for both the day and the start of our job, pretty much just at DedSec. The first objective I got was to download the Noodle app on my phone, which is how this game's map and objective interface work out of. But while here, I also just downloaded every single app because I felt like it. Consumerism is great. And I got a trophy from doing that. I then had to buy pants as my next objective, and I'm not gonna lie, these two first quests go hard. Haven't had a game force me to buy pants before I can actually play it before. And I got another trophy from just buying pants. What the hell is going on right now? I then finally made it to the actual DedSec headquarters base, which is just in the basement of some building, where all great things begin. And they actually had an entire weapon 3D printer down here, which has got to be illegal. However, once I made my first gun inside of it, I got a trophy, so who cares about the legal repercussions? And that was then pretty much it for the initial easy trophies of the game. Next, we started to begin some real big boy missions, beginning first with hacking into some rich dude's house and tricking him into giving us millions of dollars from a phone scam. Everyone is vulnerable, don't fall for it. I then had a mission which made me steal some new sci-fi movies car that is absolutely pimped out and very, very fast. It also kind of looks cool, but I'm not really into this car type. It kind of has the shape of a middle school girl. So anyways, the mission following that was a promo for DedSec where we basically ran the car around town destroying everything. But right at the start, I apparently hit 3 jumps in a row and got a trophy. Not sure how I did that, but I did. This car mission, by the way, was low-key fire and it was genuinely fun. So when it ended, I was overwhelmed with euphoria when another trophy popped just from the story mission itself. God, this game is actually great so far. The next trophy I got was also story, and it was from a mission where we snuck into, or killed everyone and then made our way to the basement of the New Hope Church. The New Hope Church is some religious scam in the Watch Dogs 2 world, and they also had these sacred tablets in the basement that they worship. Turns out, those are also fake. Everything's fake if you couldn't tell. The only real things in this world are those voices in your head. And yeah, after we exposed the church, I got another story trophy. I then began my first side operation or side quest that gives a trophy. There's a few of these in the game and most are given to you automatically throughout the story. However, 1 or 2 you do have to find yourself later on. But this first one was called the E-Kart Challenge, and it had us do multiple races with a go-kart, all the while failing and having to go find new parts for it after each race when we lose. In fact, I didn't even win the last race and placed second because I felt bad for winning all the time, you know, gotta switch it up here and there. A bit later on, I was then outside some fancy California house with lasers and robot security. But trust me, bro, you ain't that important. And once I hacked this robot, I got a trophy for hacking a robot in the game. How nice. I should also mention this entire game story is just us trying to destabilize and basically make Bloom and the CTOS have more problems with their business and expose them for all the illegal things they do with the public. Which is why this next story mission and trophy just had us break into some radio tower and pretty much just shut it down, ruining their workflow, which is the true enemy of all business. But another trophy popped after, so we ain't stopping for nothing. I'd rather die before I come in last. Sadly, the DedSec team doesn't have that same work ethic and share for drive as me, so the boys broke up. The band ended, and now it's our job to go win back everyone and keep the team together. This is basically the turning point as we call it, but it was honestly done super poorly and kind of lame. So to get them back, we just won a hacking competition at some rave party on a beach. What a great combo. And it also gave us a trophy. Next story mission then had us trying to break into the Noodle Company headquarters. But to get there, we had to ride the Noodle bus, and I really misunderstood what it was asking, so I just hijacked one and committed a crime. But it did give me a trophy, so, you know, worse outcomes could have happened. And by the way, breaking into the Noodle HQ was goddamn near impossible to do without being seen, and my small brain couldn't figure out how the you open the door to get in. So I just resulted in killing mass killings. The mainstream media won't ever cover this because it would destabilize public's opinion on violence too much. However, once I made it to the place I needed to get to, the wanted level magically disappeared. God, I love cutscenes. Anyways, we basically just hacked into their servers like we do with everyone, and I got another story trophy after the mission ended. I then made my way into some ugly lesbian secret underground base to steal her info on DedSec. She wasn't very happy, and also there's a good look at her, by the way. If she even is a her, we really don't know. But this part had a decently difficult puzzle we had to do, and I honestly love doing these. It makes my brain feel good once I complete it because they aren't too difficult for my rotted brain to understand. And yeah, once we captured it and got her out of the system, the base is now ours, and we got a story trophy. Next big story mission had me sneak into a prison and free a witness. I did one of those, and the witness is now freed. The target, sadly, is now on my head, and trying to escape from the cops in this game is complete ass. Mostly because you can't really fight back, especially when on a boat, because you can't just drive away, and they are just as fast as you, if not more fast. But when I stole this boat as my escape vehicle, I did get a trophy to begin with before the torture of escape began. Anyways, once I did escape and make it back to HQ, a trophy popped for completing yet again another story mission. And the next story mission had us sneak into a FBI hideout because one of our homies with insecurities got bullied by the mean FBI people. How dare they take off his mask? No, God, please put it back on. Put that on. That's almost as bad as dreams. Jesus Christ. On another note, though, sneaking into the FBI base was one of the hardest. Actually, I'm not gonna glaze. This is the hardest mission in the game. You have to stealth it. Like, there is no other option. So yeah, this took me an hour to do, and I'm not ashamed because, god damn it, I did it, and I got the weirdo's mask back along with more information. And another trophy popped after the mission ended. The mission right after had one of our homies actually just straight up die. I'm not sure if the agenda we're following is really worth it anymore, but hey, once you fall into the rabbit hole, you can't just climb out. So for the next hour, it was our personal vendetta to just destroy and kill everyone involved in the death of our brother, as they say. First, we began with hurting their pockets by destroying the drug trade the enemy is a part of, and then we took it up a notch and just went in and killed some enemies, including their big boy leader. And that was all in a good day's work. The homie is now avenged, and another trophy popped whilst we cried at his desk. Rest in peace. There was then this story mission where we basically just hacked things the whole time and essentially stole info, you know, like usual. But once all that fun was done, I got another story trophy. I then stole one of their main servers straight off a cargo ship that Bloom needed. So we truly are pirates now, and I got that trophy pop after we literally flew away with the server. The data is truly in the cloud now. We also contributed in some voter fraud, which is something I imagine the Biden-Harris campaign knows all about, and that was the entire story mission. Just destroying voting machines because that's gonna make a huge difference for sure. And another story trophy popped. I then finally got to play this mission where you control a spider drone from some military company's lab and just destroy everything. This mission, by the way, was one of the most fun I have ever played, and it's honestly just great overall. Also, the spider drone looks like something out of a nightmare, and I'm not sure how the enemies didn't just piss themselves and run away. However, after destroying literally everything in this company's base, we did get a trophy, so that's also cool. And then it was actually the final mission of the game's main story where we again just snuck into a Bloom server farm and messed around with their stuff, which now that I look at the game post-platinum, I can see that this was the objective for nearly every mission. And while that might be the Ubisoft game formula, Watch Dogs 2 managed to make it fun this time, so I won't complain. Anyways, there's the final story trophy. We then gave the Bloom CEO a visit to stomp on his ego, and the cops then stomped on him after we left. God bless. I then decided to begin most of the miscellaneous trophy stage next before going after some harder and more annoying online trophies. And these miscellaneous trophies, by the way, are pretty much all super easy and simple. So let's begin. I first bought a pair of purple Crocs to signify my dominance in the shoe market. I then rode a public transport bus because I can't stand car insurance. A true scam. I also bought a new t-shirt because the one I've been wearing all game is quite stinky. I then pet a dog 10 times. Man's best friend, and he won't cheat on you after he says I love you because he can't speak. I then took a selfie while someone in the background was photobombing with a Facebook mom type pose, and I also stole a car that was important because the game says so and it has a cool paint job on it. I then got my wanted level up to max and then had to escape all of the police coming after me. This is honestly hard though, and it's best to just go on water, but you will have to park the good old ship and shoot everyone then right away. And you also might have to do that a few times before they give up. I then rode a car that screams gay pride for 5 kilometers and got another trophy, and I landed a sick jump with a bike that is totally possible in real life. I then did a sailboat race, rode on a car that was driving itself for 200 meters, called the cops on a man dressed up as a donut, and goddamn that was funny. I then did a drone race after, and the final miscellaneous trophy I got right now was from just doing a bike race. Well, that was fun. So now it's time to start going after some online trophies and a few side things I missed that take some more time opposed to just doing one thing and getting a trophy. First, I did a DedSec event, which is a pain in the ass later. But for now, I actually got one and completed it. On completion, it also gave me an insane amount of money, so I took that straight to the car dealership as you do and bought everything, getting enough cars for this vehicle trophy right here. I then waited around a bar for like half an hour straight until finally finding a man puking. I also almost missed it because I was eating Takis, but I did snap a photo of him in time, thankfully, and got that somewhat RNG trophy. I then began some online trophies, starting first with me neutralizing a bounty hunter that was after me. Very easy if you just run into them with a car. I then went after the 5 bounty hunting missions trophy next, which I'm not gonna lie, I did go undefeated in, and I'm just a god like that. Also, these online missions are actually kind of fun and still somewhat work almost 10 years later, which is dope. So yeah, there's that trophy. Shockingly not a pain in the ass. I then invaded someone's game and hacked their phone, and it was also a team of 2 people that I got paired against. The Lord above felt bad for me here, and I, by the grace of God, ran into this wall and got hidden in a bush. It's safe to say they did not find me. I am actually the best ever. I then had to do an online operation with a teammate, which can be annoying because not a lot of people are playing these, and I finally got paired up with someone who was also just AFK. But that's totally fine because I did the entire mission completely by myself and got the trophy. Shout out to the AFK man, we wouldn't be here without you. I then real quick did 2 more of these site operations I didn't do earlier. Both are very simple and very easy, so there's the trophies for those. Now I only have a few left to do, and the next one I went after was the Gather All Key Data trophy. This is a collectible and it's also used in upgrades for skills, but you don't need all the skills for a trophy in this game, so just don't worry about that. While going for these though, I did farm stealth kills in addition and got those all done right here, and about an hour later I found all the key data collectibles I needed and got that trophy. Very easy collectible, just a little annoying with some here and there, but overall not bad compared to the Watch Dogs collectibles. I then did a selfie trophy where you have to take pictures with like 25 special monuments around the game's map, mostly all in San Francisco, but the game marks them on the map for you, so it's also very easy to do. Sadly though, the final trophy I needed was from completing 5 DedSec events. This is a random, and I mean completely random generated event that spawn in never. So the only real way to get it done in fast amounts of time is to start a 4-person lobby, go public or private, it really doesn't matter, and then do the virus event because it is a DedSec event as a matter of fact. Do they tell you it's one? No, they don't, but once you complete it, the game says DedSec event completed, so take that Ubisoft. By the way, if you're doing this solo like I am, don't even try to fight the enemies coming after you because you will die. Just hide and then use the drone with hacking tools to distract and basically make it so the enemies have no idea what the hell is happening. And obviously, once you complete 5 of these events total, regardless of the method, the trophy will pop, and I got the platinum right along with it. Also, a lot of people have been asking for the time I spent on the games I platinum, so here's a screenshot of my Watch Dogs 2 platinum and time spent according to the good old PlayStation, coming in at a whopping 16 hours total, which is almost exactly half the time the guide said. So yeah, that was the Watch Dogs 2 platinum trophy experience. Overall, the game is super fun, I'm not gonna lie, I had an absolute blast playing it. It was also funny too, like regardless of the game being a bit woke here and there, it had a lot of my humor in it, and that was great to see. I also want to apologize to the donut man for calling the cops on him, but his wiener was out. 9 out of 10 game. Can't give it a 10 because of those DedSec events, but it was close.